we are going to deal with asking for and showing preferences. So, before getting into this, we all must know what is preference. What is preference? In English, if you want to know about something, a person who is standing in front of you, you want to ask them about the thing which they like the most. So you are going to ask them, so what do you like? Whether this or that. 2 or 3 things you have in your mind, but you don't know the person who is standing in front of you, you don't know what they like the most. So by then, you can ask their preferences in English. So today in this class, I am going to teach you how to ask others' preference and how the other person should supposed to respond in English. So asking questions, asking preferences, and how to answer those questions in English. So that's what we are going to see today. So first I have given you some model questions here. So kindly look into it. Just look into the first question. So first I am going to deal with asking preferences. So first one, do you prefer living in city or village? So a person is asking the other person who is standing in front. So where do you prefer to live? Most people will be having a liking to live in city and some will have the liking to live in village. So what's your preference? Do you prefer living in city or village? And another question, do you prefer apple or orange? So there are 2 fruits. Many people will be having a common liking to all these fruits. So what do you like the most? Yes, you can ask, do you prefer apple or orange? Next, do you prefer coffee or tea? So which do you like? Which do you like to have? Coffee or tea? So you have some guests at your home. And before beginning your conversation, we know that we Tamil people are very good at hospitality. So you can ask your guest, do you prefer coffee or tea? Next, come to the next question. Do you prefer to be a hosteler or a day scholar? So while giving admission to the students, either it is in school or colleges, we will be asking them. So how do you like to study? What sort of accommodation you need? Do you prefer to be a hosteler or day scholar? So these are all some of the ways in which you can ask the preference of others, which do they like the most. So it doesn't mean that you should always use the word prefer while framing questions. Instead of using prefer, you can use other words like what do you like the most, what do you like. So like that also you can raise the question. It doesn't mean that you should always use the word prefer in your question. Now let's look into the way how we are supposed to answer all those questions. Just see. The first question we saw, do you prefer living in city or village? So what is the answer for that? I prefer city to village. I prefer living in city and I don't like village means. You can say, I prefer city to village. Here we have used the word to. Now look at the next question. Do you prefer apple or orange? So what is the answer for that? I prefer apple. It doesn't mean that you should mention the other fruit which you don't like also. You can mention just the thing which you like the most. I prefer apple. So that's more than enough. Next, do you prefer coffee or tea? So what's the answer for that? I prefer coffee over tea. Here we have used the word over. It's not that we are supposed to use only 2. Instead of 2, you can also use over. It means that I like coffee more when compared to tea. That is the meaning of the sentence. Now look at the next sentence, next question. Do you prefer to be a hosteler or day scholar? So the answer for that, I prefer to be a hosteler rather than a day scholar. So instead of using 2 over, you can also use rather than. So it means I like to be a hosteler and I don't want to be a day scholar. So that is the meaning in this sentence. So these are all the ways in which you can ask and ask and express your preference in English. And now I am going to give you a model conversation. It's actually a conversation between 2 persons. The one is actually Mala and the other person is Sheila. So they 2 are friends, they are talking with each other. It is actually a very short conversation. So I thought you will get a better understanding after looking into it. So just look into the conversation. So Mala, hi Sheila, let's start by having some drinks. What do you prefer, juice or coffee? So Mala is asking Sheila, hi Sheila, how are you? It's a long time, we have been meeting after a long time. So let's continue our discussion. Let's talk by having some drinks. So what do you like to have? What do you prefer? Do you want juice or coffee? What do you want to have? So by then Sheila gives an answer. I prefer juice rather than coffee. I hate coffee, I hate hot drinks. So let's better have some juice. So I like to have something cool. So I prefer juice rather than coffee. So Mala, share as you wish. If you want to have juice, I will give it that for you. So this is the model conversation I just want to show you. So these are all the ways in which you can ask, express and answer the preference questions raised by others in English, and I hope you all able to understand. Thanks for watching.